It's the Carter Man. I'm down here in the dungeon, as you can see in the weight room. So, just finished weightlifting, so I'm not in a great mood to begin with. But I'll tell you what, though, it's impossible that anything that I had to do down here over the last hour or so could make me in a worse mood than I was put into by the horrifying, I use the word advisedly, horrifying news we received today about America's mainstream media. Okay? I hate the mainstream media, left-wing radicals, every one of them, okay? But the news today really put into perspective what they really are. Those of you who may have not heard it, the news is that CNN, Reuters, and AP Wire, which feeds newspapers all across America, teamed up with Hamas in the slaughter of the innocents, the terrorist slaughter of the innocents on October 7th in Israel. Now, some of you say, well, not teamed up's too strong. No, it's not too strong a word. They went in with the Hamas savages, accompanied them to report on them and give them the coverage that those monsters envied as they tortured and molested and raped and mutilated and then slaughtered men, women, children, and babies in Israel. Yeah, the reporters were there. They were there along with them. They were accompanying them. Comrades in arms. Yes, they were comrades in arms. They were accomplices because they knew where Hamas was going in advance. They knew what Hamas was going to do, the monsters, the savages, and they went along, I guess, kind of all excited and giddy and giggling so they could get the story and make some money off of it. I'm pausing because I want it to sink in what these fellow monsters in the mainstream media did with, in conjunction with, accompanying and assisting, because giving them publicity and encouraging them was assisting the Hamas savages, those who committed the single worst terrorist outrage, inhumane, inhuman outrage in modern history. America's mainstream media went along for the ride and participated in it. I don't think that there has been a more despicable act in recent history. I know there hasn't. Let me make clear here. They knew what the Hamas savages were going to do, and they went along for the ride as long as they got the pictures and the story so they could make some money off of it. How sick is that? How sick and sinister is that? CNN, Reuters, and AP. They are co-conspirators. They're co-participants in the most inhumane and inhuman act in recent history. Make no mistake about it. And they should be made to pay. They should be made to pay. Of course, Israel should throw them out immediately. And every civilized nation in the world should tell CNN, Reuters, and AP, you're done. You are done. You have shown what you are now. You could have saved maybe as many as 1,400 lives. You could have prevented the hostage taking. Those people are still being tortured and terrorized. You, AP, CNN, and Reuters could have prevented all of that. But instead, you chose to participate in it. We're lifting your licenses. You are finished covering any civilized nation in the world because you are uncivilized. You've shown what you are. You are traitors. You are traitors to humanity. Sound too strong? I don't think so. If you think it is, I'd suggest, if it were humanly possible, ask the mothers and the fathers who watch their babies tortured, raped, burned alive in ovens. Oh, that's right, you can't, because then the Hamas monsters, with AP and Reuters and CNN, they're along to get it down, killed the mothers and fathers too, and the grandparents, in the worst ways possible. Well, those three mainstream media networks were there and did nothing but encourage them, and it did encourage them. They wanted the coverage, or else they wouldn't have invited the networks. And the network said, okay, got you covered, got you covered. And they didn't let anybody know what was the horror that was about to be inflicted. So I am outraged. Every American should be. If you see AP in your local newspaper, cancel your newspaper subscription. If you're made clear to CNN, you'll never be in our home again. Reuters, the same. They are now outside the company of decent people, of civilized people, of the kind of people any of us ever want to associate with again for the rest of our lives. They're disgraced, and they're disgraceful. So let's do this thing. Let's help fight back and end these mainstream media monsters once and for all.